According to psychology, some of the most successful people in the world are also the most emotionally exhausted. Not because success is hard, but because they learned early that love was something they had to earn. Today, we're talking about the hidden pain of children who are praised only for achievements, never for existing. And why that programming creates adults who can't stop performing, even when no one's watching. Picture a child bringing home a report card. All A's, maybe one B. The parent looks at it and says, "Why the B? You're better than this. I know you can do better." Or picture a child winning second place in a competition. The parent says, "Second place is just first loser. Next time you'll win." Or picture a child simply existing, playing, laughing, doing nothing productive. The parent doesn't see them, doesn't acknowledge them. But the moment that child accomplishes something, achieves something, wins something, suddenly, they matter. Suddenly, they're visible. That child learns a devastating equation: my worth equals my output. If you were that child, you learned that love wasn't unconditional. It was transactional. You learned that you didn't deserve attention, affection, or validation just for being you. You had to do something impressive first. You had to bring home the trophy, get the scholarship, make the team, earn the praise. And when you did, for a brief moment, you felt seen. You felt valued. You felt like you mattered. But that feeling never lasted, because achievement-based love has an expiration date. The moment the applause stops, the anxiety starts. What's next? What do I need to do to feel that again? How do I prove I'm still worthy? So you kept performing, kept achieving, kept pushing. Not because you loved the work, but because you were terrified of becoming invisible again. Here's what most people don't understand about achievement-focused parenting. The parents often think they're motivating their child. They think they're setting high standards. They think they're preparing them for a competitive world. But what they're actually teaching is, you are not enough as you are. Your existence alone has no value. You must constantly produce to justify taking up space, and that belief doesn't disappear when you grow up. It embeds itself into your nervous system. You become an adult who can't rest, can't celebrate wins, can't enjoy the present moment because you're already worried about the next performance review, the next milestone, the next thing you need to accomplish to feel okay. If this is already hitting close to home, if you're recognizing yourself in this pattern, subscribe to this channel and drop a comment telling me, what achievement did you chase thinking it would finally make you feel enough? Because we're going deep into the psychology of conditional love, childhood programming, and how to break free from performing for validation. You're not alone in this. Let me tell you what this looks like in adulthood. You achieve something incredible: promotion, recognition, success, and you feel nothing. Or worse, you feel empty. Because the validation you're getting from others doesn't fill the void that was created when you didn't get validation just for being. You struggle with imposter syndrome. Not because you're not qualified, but because deep down, you still believe your worth is conditional. One failure away from being exposed as worthless. You burn out repeatedly because you don't know how to stop. Resting feels dangerous. Doing nothing feels like becoming nothing. You struggle in relationships because you're performing there too. You're trying to earn love instead of receiving it. You're terrified that if you stop being impressive, useful, perfect, people will leave. You can't accept compliments that aren't tied to achievement. Someone says, "I love spending time with you," and you don't know what to do with that. But someone says, "Great job on that project," and you feel momentarily okay. Here's the cruel irony. The world rewards you for this. Your boss loves your work ethic. Your colleagues admire your drive. Society celebrates your success. But inside, you're exhausted. You're lonely. You're wondering when you're allowed to stop proving yourself. The truth is, you're not running toward success. You're running from the fear of being worthless without it. You're not motivated by passion. You're motivated by the terror of being invisible, unloved, irrelevant, if you're not constantly achieving. That's not ambition. That's trauma. Let's talk about what you missed as a child that you're still grieving as an adult. You missed being celebrated for just existing. For being silly, creative, curious, messy, imperfect, and still being loved. You missed hearing, "I'm proud of you," when you hadn't done anything impressive. Just, "I'm proud of who you are." You missed the safety of failing and still being held. Of trying and falling short and hearing, "That's okay. You're still valuable to me." You missed unconditional presence. Someone sitting with you not because you earned their time, but because they enjoyed your company with no agenda. And now, as an adult, you don't know how to give these things to yourself, because you never learned that you deserve them. Here's what happens when you start healing this. You begin to separate your identity from your achievements. You start recognizing that what you do is not who you are. You learn to rest without guilt. To have days where you produce nothing and still feel like you have a right to exist. You start valuing relationships where you can be yourself, not your highlight reel. Where you can be tired, uncertain, flawed, and still be wanted. You notice when you're performing for validation and you start asking, am I doing this? It's because I want to, or because I'm afraid of what happens if I don't. You give yourself the unconditional acceptance you never received. You look in the mirror and say, you are enough, not because of what you did today. Just because you're here. If this is hitting deep, if you're realizing that your entire life has been one long performance to earn love that should have been free, I want you to know something. This isn't your fault. You were a child trying to survive an environment where love felt conditional. You developed the only strategy that worked: achieve and be seen or disappear. But you don't have to live that way anymore. You can start rewriting that belief. Slowly. Intentionally. You can start giving yourself permission to exist without producing. You can start surrounding yourself with people who love you on your worst days, not just your winning days. You can start asking for support not because you've earned it through achievement, but because you're a human being who deserves care. Here's your practice. Once a day, do something that has no productivity value. No outcome. No achievement. Just something that feels good. Sit in the sun, listen to music, stare at the ceiling. Take a walk with no destination. And when your brain screams, "You're wasting time," recognize that voice. That's not wisdom. That's programming. And say back to it, I am allowed to exist without earning it. Repeat it until you believe it. The goal isn't to stop achieving. The goal is to stop needing achievement to feel human. The goal is to reach a place where success is something you create because it's meaningful to you, not something you chase to prove you deserve to be loved. You were never supposed to earn your parents' love through performance. And you don't have to keep earning the world's approval to justify your existence. You are enough. Right now. Exactly as you are. Not because of what you've done. But because you're here.